Okay. Hey, everyone, and welcome to another live episode with me. What I was about to do by myself right now was try to troubleshoot my personal agents that help me run my entire operations. And I was going to do that by myself, but I figured it would be extremely helpful for me just to try to live stream and show step by step what exactly I'm doing and how I'm trying to troubleshoot the multitude of agents that are helping me run my entire consulting practice. Because one of the things that people don't share online is these agents are extremely powerful. But once you start giving them a lot of different tasks, you start to almost lose track of who is doing what. And that was my objective for today. So, my current setup, and I don't have a script, I just went live. So, gonna have to bear with me. So, my current setup is I'm running everything on top of my Obsidian Vault. Originally started using Claude Code. Then I'm running a lot of automations through there, and I'll show you that. And then I started using Codex to run other automations. Then I have a separate laptop underneath my desk that is currently running a OpenClaw, two OpenClaws, and their names are Greg and Rob. And it's a lot easier to think of it in terms of names as you start divvying up tasks going forward. And then I also have a Hermes agent named Herm to help me on other stuff. So I got to this point where now on my main computer, I'll show here and I'll show you everything as we go forward because I just want to try to be as transparent as possible to be as helpful as possible. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm not sure why it's not letting me. Let's see if I. Trying to see why it's not letting me share my entire screen. But here, maybe I can do this. Okay. So here, this is what I am currently trying to figure out. Okay. So I opened up a Claude code session and I told it I want to make a new section in my Obsidian Vault. It will be a combined workspace where we can get on the same page about what is being done because I have multiple agents, like I just said. So I have Claude Code, Codex, two OpenClaw agents, Greg and Rob, Hermes, and I'm getting confused about who's doing what because I really have probably like 30, 40 automations running my entire practice. And then sometimes if something breaks, you don't know exactly why is it breaking and how to fix it. So I wanted to make a shared workspace in my Obsidian Vault to get to the place where all of them are speaking to each other. So I did a project last week where I had my Claude code talking to my OpenClaw through Obsidian Vault. So I'll show you here. So here's my entire Obsidian Vault where literally my entire practice lives. So you could see here, this is like my entire brain, which is, it's really cool to visualize. And here's everything in my entire practice. So I did at some point, I tried to get my Claude code speaking to my OpenClaw through Obsidian. So I did Obsidian sync on this computer and my other computer where my OpenClaw and Hermes live. And it was speaking through Obsidian. So it was sending messages here. So it would put the message here, it would pick it up. And then on the other computer, I set a polling for every 30 seconds to check to see if the message came through. And then it would take the message, perform the operations on that other computer, and then respond. And then this is how they were speaking. And then I set up the exact same folder with Herm over here. So he's running on his separate computer. And then everything he's doing, he logs in my Obsidian Vault, everything. So I have a full track of everything that's being done as like an audit log. So I could track it on my main computer. So I always see into everything they're doing. And recently, last night, I just set up my codex, which is, this is really cool, to SSH into my other computer. So I don't actually have to go on it and figure out why they go down sometimes. And on the iPhone app and the iPad, I now connected to do remote control into both of my computers through my phone. So now when I'm away from it, I can have insight into what's going on. So back to what we are trying to do right now. So I asked it, like right now in my mind, I have 5 separate agents. So I have, yeah, Claude Code. And this is a working session for me, guys. Like, this is it, real time. I was going to do this by myself, but I figured there's so much noise out there that people could just see what trying to actually troubleshoot with all of these agents look like. So I have Claude Code, which I originally named as Greg. Then I have Codex, which I also duplicated all of my skills to basically duplicate Claude Code, which was also Greg. So now I'm realizing that's kind of an issue. Then I have my OpenClaw Greg, which now I see why it's getting confusing. And then I also have my OpenClaw Rob, which is in charge of my content. And then I have my Hermes Herm. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate individual agents running approximately 30 to 40 skills on an average basis. Okay, so let's see what it came back with. Okay, so there's already an OpenClaw herb folder. Now it understands the real topology. Okay. See, this is where it flagged. Yeah, so there's a separate OpenClaw Greg. So I'm thinking I should probably rename my other OpenClaw agent to not be Greg. Okay, here's what we have. Agent coordination, who does what? Apply prompts. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, this is a lot. So I'm going to say, can you please build me a HTML document with all the prompts I need to give to each separate agent of what they need to do to fill out their shared portion of the tracker? Okay. So while that runs, because this is actually really cool because HTML is really a game changer for building with these agents. So let's just see what it built for me so far. Okay, reports. Okay, this is what I have for Claude code, Greg. So we are going to need to change around the names a little bit. Okay, so this file is owned by Claude code. Okay, so this is what I have going so far within Claude code. And I know I'm keeping changing around the engines because my computer was kind of getting a little messed up with everything firing on one platform. Okay, so we have compounded learning, 6 a.m., but it doesn't know the engine, the daily health check, the user learning, the daily agenda, revenue action items, daily HTML, the overdue nag, the daily coach review, the overnight meeting prep, the weekly review, the client health weekly review. Okay, so I'm going to need, so narrow down which engine is doing what. So now this is in Codex. Okay, Codex right now is doing my Vault validation, my Vault consistency guard, and my system watchdog. And through this video, I'm also hoping people get inspiration and ideas on how they could try to run their own setup. But everything works really nicely in the beginning where you don't have a lot set up. But when you accumulate a lot of tasks and schedules over time, and you're trying to throw in a lot of different agents, you really do need a plan of how they're all going to coordinate with each other. Okay, so now this is my open claw. Okay, okay, so I have my X bookmark learning, my other learning. Okay, Hermes. Okay, so let me see if I got. Okay, I'm going to show you here. This is how I can speak to my Telegram, my agents. Okay. I just want to try to be as transparent as possible. I'm just setting it up. Okay, so the Claude code just came back. So here, show you what this looks like. So this came back as HTML, and now it's going to say copy prompt into a fresh Claude code session saying we're standing up a shared coordination workspace so all my agents can see who does what and stop overlapping. Your report file is okay. Then it's giving Claude code. Read this before writing. Reread the front matter. Fill it in. Special asks. Okay. Okay. So now I will copy this prompt and I will do exactly that. So now I'm going to open up a new Claude Code session, showing you here. And I will do this on, let's do effort, let's do max. I'll paste that prompt in Claude right now. Okay. Now, what I'm also going to do is let's open up, let's go to the Codex CLI, the Codex one. Okay. And I'm going to copy this prompt and go into the terminal. Okay, we could actually see this all at once. Let's split this one. Let's go to CD. Might be too small to see. I'll just close this one out. Open up this. Okay, and I'll run Codex. Okay, and I'll paste that prompt. Just make sure it's the correct one pasted. Copy that. Go here. We're going to do 5.5 extra high. I'm going to paste it. Okay, great. Now Codex is going. Now for the other prompts, which is on my other computer, here, let's look at what it wants me to give my OpenClaw agents. Okay, shared workspace, report file, A consulting, agent coordination, reports Greg, read AI consulting. Okay, great. So that didn't give the exact path, so it won't get confused. Okay, so we'll copy this prompt. And here is where I can message my agents on my other computer. So here is Greg. So I will paste that prompt into Telegram, which I speak to Greg on, and I will send that off to him. Now let's see the other one. Rob. Okay. Copy that prompt. We'll go to Rob, who's my social media manager. Paste that there. And now we'll go to my Hermes. Copy that prompt and give this to him. Okay, so now we have all 5 agents working to hopefully give me a good picture about what is going on, what agent is doing what task, and how I can make them all better in terms of responsibility, who is doing what, and I'll probably change a few of their names. So, because when I originally started, Greg was my main initial assistant running through Claude Code. So I figured I'll duplicate him to run on Codex and duplicate him again to run on OpenClaw. But now I'm realizing that if they're all named Greg and they all have similar personas, but all do something a little different, now it's getting a little confusing. So let's see. And now we can open up Obsidian, which again, Obsidian sync is on both of my computers. So now wherever my computers are being synced to this vault, it is immediately updated. So that's how I can run different prompts on different computers and just keep track of it all in my Obsidian workspace. Okay. See if any of them are done yet. Might take a little bit because they're all doing a lot. Okay, let's see. It's Codex. I think Rob came back. If you see here, I'll just show you what he sent me. Rob came back. He said he updated the AI Consulting OS. Okay, files existed, front matter, read the README, status, self-reported, last updated. Key finding, my runtime shows 21 social desk cron jobs with 8 currently enabled. Okay, so now let's see what he did. Let's see. Last updated 12/21. Perfect. Okay. He updated his bio. I'm obvious social desk, open call agent for social content work, content strategy, hooks, X, LinkedIn newsletter adaptation, social content learning, and approved social media automations. Okay. He has a soul, identity, user, memory, tools, agents. Okay. Tech he currently takes bookmarks that I bookmark on X and import them. Okay. Daily pipeline, AI news. He gets my AI news. I set up this automation, but I disabled it. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. So this seems okay. Overlap. Okay. Now we go to say I think Herm responded. Okay. He updated his file. Okay. See, if you run multiple agents at the same time, there's a risk that they might start writing to the same file or different update logs. So let's see what. Okay. He acts as my infrastructure backup. He helps me with my CRE work product. He's my independent QA second opinion without taking over Greg OpenClaw's ops lane. Okay, he runs on my separate computer. Okay, great. Because my plan is once all of these are populated, then I could go back to my Claude code and review all of their plans and then give me a full plan to how to separate and make sure each one is updated to be the best version of themselves. Okay. Codex came back. Okay, incorporated Rob's fresh self-alert. Okay. Then from here, I think this will actually be really cool to set up an HTML file visualizing what they each do, how they work together, just to get a full picture. Let's see, Codex came back, 1224. Okay, system watchdog actually mine. No, not in the normal production path. Current evidence shows Obsidian Vault system watchdog. Windows schedule task runs against .claude scripts. See, does Codex still fire at content pipeline? No. AI news monitor? No. Firefly transcripts? No. See, this is good because I've been constantly moving around these automations. Email sync? No. Hourly sync? No. Okay, great. QA overlap with Hermes. Codex should own deterministic contract validation, fault integrity, schema consistency, code review, and we should not both run is the system okay? Yeah. See, this is really going to be helpful. I want to see if they're all done. See, look how helpful this is. Two Claude named windows actually run on Codex, name engine raised by Claude Code Codex. What I observed every your work schedule just hidden. Okay, let's see what. Okay, this one is self-review quota, real classification and consistency. Okay, so let's just wait for this one to finish. Then we should have all of our reports in Obsidian. Now, I'm not going to do the entire fix end to end right now because it'll take a long time. But once this is done, we'll create a HTML document showing where everything is documented, where they overlap, where they conflict, what everyone is doing. So I can just show you at a high level how sophisticated you can make your own setup with different agents doing different things. And I started doing this a while ago, so this accumulated a lot over time. So that's why every so often you have to take a step back and say, okay, great. I need to audit my entire system to make sure that everything is still running properly and everything is still where it should be. Okay. 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 I just all the agents came back, and if you can please look at the agent coordination Obsidian folder and analyze everything that happened, but without doing anything right now, if you can please build for me a HTML document that I could visualize what each agent's doing, what the overlaps and conflicts are, where they're working well. Like, I want you to visualize everything I need to know about what we just did. And then from there, then I'll make a in-depth plan separating, renaming the agents. So maybe I'll call my Claude Code agent Greg and then change the name for my OpenClaw agent to something else so that in the future, they're not all Greg. Okay, let's just wait for this to come back. Let's see what it said. The biggest correction, the entire content social AI news automation stack is Rob's, not Greg's. I see it in the ownership letter. Vote said Greg. I'm gonna just wait for this to come back. And then we can walk through it. And then I will take all of that stuff and probably think it over a bit more before I move forward because this is critical. And I wanted to show the process of how I was at least establishing a baseline to get under control about who is doing what in my current setup. Okay, it is almost done. That's the other thing that I've found it more difficult to do live end-to-end builds because these agents are becoming so autonomous now that you can let them run for an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours. And it really makes a big difference on how you do the instructions and set it and just let them go off. So to do really good work, it's not necessarily going to be done in a 20, 30-minute live. So it's harder to do a full thing end to end. Okay. Let me make sure to see that there's no private information leaked. now I'll show you what it came back with. How do we get this here? Okay. This is the report that we just came back with. What we just mapped, five agents self-reported into the shared tracker. Okay, so I have 5 agents, 2 machines, 30 plus active automations, 8 overlaps flagged, 3 health risks. Okay, the map, 2 machines, 5 agents. Okay, so I have my main machine, which is running Claude Code and Codex. Then I have my other computer running Greg, OpenClaw, Rob, OpenClaw, Hermes. Hey, Lane, what each agent is doing, Claude Code, interactive co-founder C plus reasoning heavy daily automations. So it's doing my compounded learning, user learning, daily agenda, overdue action items, daily coach review, weekly review, daily health check, meeting prep, coaching auditor, client health, automation health, revenue trigger, 17 determined Windows tasks, and then 2 Codex engine tasks. Okay, now Codex, firing unproven. Yeah, because they were a bunch of Codex stuff that I moved over to Greg OpenClaw. So I'm going to have to edit the watchdog so it doesn't keep saying it's failing. Confirmed not firing as Codex, content pipeline, AI news, Fireflies, calendar, email sync. Okay, Greg OpenClaw, Telegram facing chief of staff, not the content engine. Yep, 3 half-hour hourly, 3 half-hour operating sentinels. My morning revenue, my improvement loop, my skill sync, because yes, that's actually a pretty cool one. So I'm creating all my skills on my main computer through Claude Code and Codex, but I don't want that to go to waste for my OpenClaw agents. So what I'm doing is on a nightly basis, I'm having the skill files upload to GitHub. And then after that's done, my OpenClaw agents will look at the GitHub files and look for any skills that were updated since they checked last time, and then download them on my other computer so it automatically stays in sync. So I don't have to constantly try to make sure they're always the same. Okay, Rob's my open social desk. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, it gives me my health report. Yeah, and then this is something cool I started doing. It started looking at my daily coach review and then sending me a voice note on how I'm doing so I don't have to read the entire report. Okay, and yeah, originally I had him trying to basically do the same thing as Greg, but I just realized you cannot have them doing the same things. Okay, overlaps and conflicts. The 2 Gregs. Okay, Claude Code schedule tasks write user.md. OpenClaw Greg also writes. Yeah, so I need to change one of them. And then from here, I'm going to ask, give me the prompts that I could give to each one to make sure they are working properly. Okay, vault integrity lanes may not be firing. Okay, Codex owns vault validation, vault consistency, but no dedicated run proof since May 6th. That is because I moved it to OpenClaw. So I am going to need to dismantle this so it won't keep showing up as it's not working. Okay, content stack was mislabeled. Greg is actually Rob. Correct. Yep. So I need to fix that. Transcript sync has no clear active owner. So I actually gave that to Greg. QA overlap, Codex versus Hermes. Vault Health has 4 overlapping surfaces. Daily health check, Claude computes a health score. System watchdog, deterministic monitors runtime, validate Vault, consistency guard, Codex. This can double flag same issue. So this is stuff that's really important because I have so many agents working on the same things. I need to make sure that they all have one clear loop that they're following. Claude task run on Codex. Claude's refresh dashboard. Okay, perfect. I'm going to fix that. System watchdog is missing from the ledger. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to go in, fix all of this up, and then keep on generating dashboards, and then keep my Obsidian Vault as the source of truth where they could all continuously talk to each other. So what I'm going to do going forward is probably set up a automation where I would say on a daily basis, let's say in the middle of the night, it will look to see what each agent is currently working on and making sure that its role is not conflicting with any other agent. So I'm going to have them each constantly check in on what the other ones are doing. And now going forward, this won't happen again. So that's my thought process on how this was all laid out. And if you like, I share a lot more and how I do all of this stuff on my newsletter. It's called the AI Tactical Toolbox. You could find it on my website or my Substack. And I hope you guys enjoyed on how I'm thinking about troubleshooting my personal agents, and you got a glimpse into how they are helping me run my entire practice. So hope you all enjoy. My name's Avi Hacker. I'm the founder of the AI Consulting Network, and hope you all have a great day.